All right, here we go. This is now officially our second stream, and I'm super excited to get this thing started. We're going to keep working on our RX-93 V Gundam. Um, pick up where we left off right here at step 16 and keep going from there. Okay, let's see. Some of the first things I'm going to need. Some off the F sprue, F2 and F3. Little halves of the orb here. Had a pretty good 4th of July. Celebrate Independence Day and all that. Not even watching myself. There we go. I'll be my first viewer. Okay. Anyways, where were we? We were picking up pieces F2 and F3, and then the 4th of July. It was actually pretty calm here because a lot of the family was out traveling. So I was able to enjoy a pretty chill holiday, which I kind of prefer. Get out my hobby knife so we can do this Gundam some justice. But the last piece I need is like Cap 7. One of these guys right here. There we go, just like that. But yeah, my brother and my dad both went up to Michigan to see my sister and also to give her one of the cars we have here. So they drove the whole way, a 17-hour drive. Sheesh, I've driven some long hours before. The longest I've ever driven was 34 hours from west to east coast, basically. So from when I lived up north in Idaho all the way down to North Carolina. It's for pretty much the same reason, actually. My oldest brother had left his car behind up there, and he wanted it back, so I drove it to him. But I was a much younger man back then, and could make that kind of drive. These days, whew, nope. I think I'd stop halfway through. Which I think is going to be the plan. I'm planning a trip up to Oregon in August. And I think that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to stop halfway through. I was looking at Google Maps and trying to theorize and plan for the trip. And it was like a day and 3 hours, I think, is what Google Maps predicted the drive would take. And yeah, I'm not getting through that without a whole lot of energy drinks, or else a stop in the middle. Not going to happen. All right, we got these cleaned up pretty well. Let's start this filing and sanding process. Um, but yeah, so I think the plan is definitely going to be to stop. But anyways, they got up there. They gave my sister the car after they had done a little bit of damage. Apparently, they ripped out one of the door handles, and then one of the turn signals stopped working. So they didn't quite give it to her in the condition I gave it to her in. But a free car is better than no car. And so she's enjoying that. Some of the other things that happened were the 4th of July is kind of a big family reunion for us. So I got to see a lot of my extended family, the uncles, the aunts, all of the little, all of the cousins and everything like that. And so I think the most we had there at any given time was about 27 people, which is pretty good for this side of the family. It's my mom's side of the family. Because they're all scattered to the four winds. Some are on the East Coast, some on the West, some up north, some up south. So they really are everywhere. So to have that many of them show up to one event is actually pretty dang good. But they do all kinds of things while they're up there. This all takes place on a farm that my grandparents have as a property up there. And so they do all kinds of farm things like blueberry picking and light campfires, have s'mores, all the good stuff. So had a good time up there. Came back. Luckily, we flew back because we didn't have a car to drive. Um, but even then, still not without its own dramas. Got delayed for a couple of hours, so supposed to get back at 9 in the evening. They instead got back at 11:30ish, I think. Uh, just due to the weather. The weather down here has been rainy, rainy, rainy. I'm sure if you've been paying attention to the news, all the flash floods out in Texas and stuff, and being close by, of course, getting a lot of that rain. Which may not be a bad thing if you're a farmer, but since I'm a homebody and stay inside all the time, it just is wet. Okay, how does this go? Just like this. Gotta get this to fit right, though. There we go. We are in. We're seated. Okay, gotta do that again. Find the unused F gate. And clip out the same pieces. F2 and F3. There we go. And the last poly cap. This one right here. There we go. Get all that worked out again. But the really, really big news for the week is my sister, who lives close by. She's pregnant with her third child, and her due date was July 16th. Well, it happened on the 5th, so the day after Independence Day. So that was very exciting news for us, although a little bit hectic, a little bit chaotic, just due to the fact that it was right there on the festivities. Although you couldn't have asked for better timing if you wanted the family to see, because we're all together. So yeah, everything went pretty good. She says it was her easiest one yet. Like I said, this is her third. Her second daughter. She has another older daughter and then one younger son, and then this will be the third. The youngest, the daughter, another daughter. There we go. I can think. I can speak. Okay, got that cleaned up right nice. I'm gonna trim off the end of this poly cap here. Looking a little nasty. But nothing a little knife can't fix. just like so. And the same cleanup process here. But that's been what the rest of the week has been, basically, is babysitting my little niece and nephew while my sister's been recuperating. Um, Helping them clean up and take care of things around the house just while they were at the hospital. And it's a good thing because my little niece is super cute, super cute. Probably cuter than anybody else's niece, but I'm not here to brag. So, we'll just move right along. Seems like the color on this gray is a little inconsistent. Seems a little marbly. There's a texture. There's some like darker spots, lines, and then there's some lighter spots that just look a little strange. Look a little weird. But it's not the end of the world. After all, when you buy a high grade model like this, I don't really think you're looking for perfection. Just a fun build. And so far, this one's not bad. Can't say it's the easiest, but that might just be because I haven't built anything in a long time. Last stream you figured out, it's been about 10 years. Sheesh. Makes me feel old like that. But, c'est la vie. You live and you learn. And hopefully, we'll get back to where we were. I used to be a pretty decent hand, at least I think, at building these things, but whatever. Maybe I'm tooting my own horn a little bit too much. Get all these sandwiched together and we'll move on to the next step. There we go. We got 2 of them finished. We're looking for D8 now. Be on the white sprues. Let's see. We have got 6, 7, 8 right here in the middle. Gotta love white pieces. Stress marks don't show up. The first one clipped out, and the second. There we are. Both clipped out there. Looking for 8 amidst the polycaps now. Which is these guys. Let me just double check. Never mind, I meant 10. We're looking for 10 amidst the polycaps, which is these guys. It's a good thing we double checked. Otherwise, we would have made a mistake right there. And then I would become endlessly frustrated about why things aren't working. And it's really just user error. 99% of the time, it is user error. All while I was fixing my car the past couple of weeks. It was definitely a very humbling lesson to learn that most of my problems were created by me. Just taking the time to stop, slow down, think a little bit. We could have avoided a lot of heartache, a lot of stress. But you live and you learn. So next time we ever have to swap an engine in a car, we'll take our time. We'll figure out what the actual steps are, rather than just going gung-ho on this thing. I thought I could do it because I had taken a large engine class in high school, and we had essentially done the same thing. We had brought in this old truck from one of the classmates for one of my classmates' like farm fields, basically. It had just been kind of sitting there. They had parked it there and eventually just started to rot out and stuff. But we needed a donor engine, and so he volunteered that truck. Get some water. So he had volunteered his truck to be the sacrifice to the large engines class. And so he brought it in, towed it in. We spent the whole trimester pulling the engine out of that truck, tearing it down, ordered new parts for it, built it all back up, and reinstalled it. And so that's what gave me the confidence to attempt this by myself on my own car. And it has worked out in the end, but whew, it was not as easy as I remember it being. Especially because there's a lot of just kind of finicky and small electrical connections. Just a little difficult to get your hands into. Things are surprisingly fragile. Not necessarily in the sense that they'll like break or snap like glass, but you can like cross thread a bolt, or you can break off the head of a bolt and then it'll get stuck and then you have to extract it. And this becomes a huge pain. A pain in the bum. I don't think my webcam's picking me up super well, so let me adjust this thing. Bring it a little bit closer. Although now, I think we have to adjust how big we are on stream. We brought the camera closer, so now VTube Studio is like, whoa. Close. Also get my arm out of the way. There we go. Okay. Got that all ripe and ready. Gonna file down some bits and bobs here. I think we're working on the arms here. Gotta be the arms. Those are the shoulders, right? Yep, looking pretty good right there. Looking good. And I think we're getting picked up a little better now. I actually see my mouth moving to not just, hopefully, me whispering to the camera. Closed mouth ventriloquism. Although, that could be fun in its own right. Have a puppet. There we go. Alright, how do we put these together? Like this. Sandwich that right in there. Okay. Second piece. There we go. Those are both sitting nice. Okay, step 18 for us. We're going to be looking for F1, F18, and F10. Let's see, right here, beginning of the sprue. Starts with 1, of course. That's F1, 10, and 18. Both located centrally. Right there in the middle. 10 and 18. Which is all good. Get this all clipped out. And repeat with the second. I just had these parts. Now where are they? Right here in the middle. Like always, nothing changed. And yet here we are, still struggling. Still looking. I think for a future stream, maybe want to get a little tripod, maybe set it up kind of right up here somewhere. So that way I get a more downward angle. Because right now it's looking up at me, which kind of gives it this weird angle. I don't think I quite like how it looks and what it's doing to the model. Like it's always giving me this weird, like I'm like looking up at you. Yeah, that weird look. It's a little gremlin. Plotting something devious, perhaps. Nothing devious here, just making Gundams. Hopefully we'll make some good progress. I want to be done with this on our next build stream, which will be Thursday, same time, 9 to 11 Central Daylight Time here in the States. So that way I can then start doing my gaming streams. I want to try and game on the weekends. You know, just throwing a little bit of variety. I don't want to burn myself out making Gunpla. Plus, with the Steam summer sale going on, and lots of games are looking pretty exciting. Picked up Stellar Blade. I've been playing that. I haven't gotten too far yet. I just beat Tacky, so I think that's the second Alpha Nitiba that they have there. So yeah, not super far, but I have been thoroughly enjoying it. Just having a good time exploring. The world is great. The character's hot. Combat is really good. I'm not super good at it, but if it's interesting. And it makes me want to try a parry build in Elden Ring now. Not that I think I'd do any good. I've never done well with a parry build, but I've gotten better at it thanks to Stellar Blade, I feel. uh, but I disagree when people say it feels like a Nier Automata clone. I would say it's close, it's similar, but I think that's part of its charm because it is a different game and I quite enjoy it. Another game I was looking at, I haven't picked it up yet. I'm still considering it. Would be Tainted Grail: Fall of Avalon, I believe. Let me double check that just to be 100%, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Supposedly it's like Elden Ring graphics, but plays like Skyrim, and I love both of those games. Yeah, Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon. It's 20% off right now. 9 out of 10 on Steam. IGN, and they did not like it. Well, it's a good thing I never listened to IGN anyways. I don't think IGN will sway me from this. I still think I'll buy it. Maybe that's what I'll play on the gaming stream. So that way I've got a blind playthrough. And we can all explore together. It might be old news, though. Well, if you're like me, perhaps old news is your speed. There we go. Let's clean this up properly. It's not a bad deal. Not a bad deal. And besides, if it's bad, at least I picked it up on sale. Didn't pay full price. But like I said, I've heard good things about it, so I'm hopeful. People around me are all starting to get Switch 2s, which is a good thing, but I don't think I've ever been particularly interested in those kinds of handheld consoles. Here we go, get some more water. Like, I have a normal Switch, the Switch 1, and I just don't use it. Maybe that's sacrilege, but I don't know. I don't like many of the games that are on it, I don't think. Or maybe I just haven't found the right game on it. But regardless, it doesn't hold as much attention as I thought it would. I bought it for like road trips and stuff, right? Because it's portable, right? That's the big appeal. But even on these road trips, I still just don't find myself using it that much. Although there have been a few fun games. Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Those are both good. Um, I've been playing the Valkyria Chronicles on it. Those were those were pretty fun because I was looking for Advance Wars and they didn't have it at the time. Although they do have the Advance Wars remaster out, and I want to play that. But I haven't been able to pull the trigger just because, again, I don't usually play my Switch all that much. Okay, done with these elbows. Now we've just got to combine. Put on some balls. Like so. Okay, second one. Just like that, like a glove. Okay, how do these go? They want go like this. And I think this one goes over here. Okay, we got the upper arms all sorted. Let's start work on these lower arms, which is going to be... We just finished this. Now we're on to step 20. There we go. We're looking for B4 and B3. It's going to be one of our unique sprues. Right here. Put that guy out right there. And this... Oop, there's a little nub. Best not clip that. And same thing on that side. Number of polycaps that are going with this. 9 and 6. Okay, there's 9. There you go. Okay, where is 6? Right here. There we go. That's what we need for step 20. Start to get these cleaned up. Take this nub right off the top. But yeah, I was talking about Switch games, which are fun, but again, perhaps just not exactly where I want them to be for me to enjoy. And then everyone around me has been getting the Switch too. So I'm going to kind of let it develop a little bit before I decide to pull the trigger on one, like I said. I feel like it might kind of be currently in the state where VR is when I first bought VR. And honestly, it was cool to experience it for like the first hour and a half. But then once you actually started to kind of like dive into the content and stuff, it honestly felt like mobile games. And there's some really good ones and there's some really bad ones. And early VR games felt like the really bad mobile games. There just wasn't a whole lot of depth or polish to any of these at the time, so it was kind of a letdown. But a buddy of mine is super into VR chat, so he's been trying to convince me to get into it too. And so we'll have to see what the future holds, but we might swing back into VR again, which could be interesting. Because one of the reasons I've been looking at VR is to up my sim rig, sim game, sim equipment, the sim stuff. Um, Used to play a lot of DCS, and I still do on occasion, but it's been a bit difficult to find an excuse to drag out all of the equipment sometimes. But if I'm going to stream more regularly, which hopefully we will, I'd like to make this a habit because it's been fun so far. So if we make this a habit, might do some sim stuff on streams, which I think would be super cool if we could do like VR stuff and some DCS together and all that. I think it'd be really fun. Okay, what am I looking at? I think this goes in here. This upper hole. It fits pretty well. Okay. Should meet in the middle now. Ooh, that's good. That is so good. Oh, I forgot to file things. That's okay. We'll file them together. It's two for the price of one with this file. Smoothing up some of these surfaces. Match it. Fill in the gaps with the dust. And here's the last side. Get a precise and machined fit. That's what we're doing. I didn't forget anything. No. We're just ensuring that both planes are even. Okay. Some of our next pieces are going to be B5 and E8. Grab our B sprue. Find our 5. Boom. Slice that off. You know what I also realized? I did not make an announcement on the one social media platform I'm on that I was going live. Oh, so much pain. But that's okay. We're still learning. We're not the perfect streamer yet, but we will be. We will be. I was also looking for E8. Can't get sidetracked now. We haven't used a lot of the E sprue yet. We haven't used a lot of these colors. Took out some bigger pieces and used that on the torso and for the bazooka, but Really all we've used it for. Looks like we'll be playing a bigger part when it comes to the backpack, the legs. Just gotta be patient. Then we'll be able to utilize that sprue. In the meantime, we'll clean up what we got. But I mean, it's kind of understandable. I've never been like super active on social media, so it's natural that I forgot to make a post. I'm definitely more of the stalker type of social media users. Just like to see what other people post and maybe giggle to myself. But that's the wrong choice if I'm going to become the perfect streamer. Supposedly, the more I engage with social media, the more others will engage with me. Haven't tested it, or perhaps I have after all. The first stream, I did post a going live announcement, and we did get a couple of viewers, although I don't know if they came in because of the social media or if they just saw me floating around on the Twitch page and were like, whoa, what's this goofy little sea slug? But regardless, all notes for next time. Okay, we gotta meet this onto this. Small hole with small peg, large hole with large peg. Just like that. This gonna slide in like so. Hi. Looking good. Just gonna take the top off some of these nubs. And same treatment for the bottom. Just match up the surfaces. Blow off all that dust. She's looking pretty good. This Gunpla's gonna shine with some panel lining. All of this white's gonna look super good with a nice dark panel liner. Clean it right up. Okay. Wants us to match an arm together. See if I can get this right. Oh. Alright, looking good. Means I think I have this one backwards too. Ugh. No, I had it right the first time. I just had that one backwards. Alright. You're weird. Let's see, we need C4 plastic explosives. And then we also need C3 and D1. There we go. D4. Little piece of the hand. There's 3. One of the grippy fingers. And then I needed D1. A white back plate. A white knuckle. A white knuckled grip. Wouldn't want to lose his beam saber. There we go. Our 3 pieces. Give this the blade treatment. Slice. Slice. It's a late night for a lot of us here. I'm streaming. My brother, who's also here, he's out playing volleyball. Being active, more proactive than I, so good on him. He's got better physical health than I do. Oof. All that running, all that volleyballing, all that's spiking and serving and hutting and hiking. Probably just not for me. But it's kind of funny because it's my mom actually who started him on it. Which is a little weird because if you were to look at her, you'd never be like, whoa, that's an athletic person. That's someone who played volleyball. But she kind of found it in her older age and has latched on to it and spread the fever to at least some of her progeny, even if it's not all of it. Okay, how does the thumb go? Like so, I would imagine. Yeah, look at that little grippy hand. Okay, this matches up with the arm. Fling that into a socket. Look at that wrist go. Okay. What else do we need for this? Rebuilding the second arm? Gotta be. Ooh, hit the old water jug. Excellent. And we'll be starting up here. B2 and B1. Get this C gate out of the way. Get my B2, my B1. There we go. B2. Careful not to clip these. And B1. We need another 9 and 6 from the polycaps. Okay, there's our other 6. And 9. Looking good. And where was our 6? Oh, the struggles. We already did 6. You need a 9. They're similar numbers. Okay, if they didn't have a line to denote which side was up and down, we'd be done. We would be done. Okay. There we go. Clean that up. Clean that up. Can't leave it like that. No. No, no, no. Just be gross. We want smooth, buttery movements. Go. Take this nub off. Hey, I need a heat hawk brush. Get rid of all these nubs I'm making. Well, the night is young. We'll still make more nubs. More nubs to be created. Nub heaven. Or hell, depending on what exactly we decide to do with these afterwards. I wonder if there is a use for these nubs. Someone's got to have done something crazy with them, right? Probably some abstract art project out there that's created entirely from clippings. It'd be kind of cool to see. It'd be like sand art, but gun plus sand. Gotta flatten this guy out. Looking pretty good right there. I just keep catching a glimpse of myself from the side, and every time I'm looking down, man, it looks so weird. Definitely got to find a better spot for the camera, I think, before our next stream, which will be this Thursday, so not a whole lot of time, but hey, Prime Day's here, so hopefully we'll remedy that situation cheaply and quickly. That, or maybe it's my posture. I have to improve my posture by sitting up straight. A straight back. Then how am I supposed to hunch over my pieces like an obsessed nerd? Forgot to trim a nub. There we go. One nub trimmed. Now let's mate them. Now kiss. Ooh. Perfect. Okay, we got the upper bit done. We're looking for pieces of A, B, and C. Looks like beam saber handle, our beam saber sheath. Got a sword and it's happy to see you. Okay, B18. Oh, a vertical. Standing upright on the sprue. There we go. 18s here. For the C, we are looking for 8. 8 right here in the corner. Not a bad deal. So we'll be lucky to not mistake it for a nub. And then off the A sprue, we're looking for A22. Right here, this blue guy on the edge. This is the part where y'all tell me it's not blue and I'm actually colorblind. It seems like a dark grayish blue to me. Or a dark blackish blue. Okay, got our 3. Just gonna take a little minute, clean it up. Hey, that one didn't come off as clean as I'd have liked. That one was pretty good. Oh well. Rusty skills are hard to refine. We still gotta come back to a basic level of competency. And we are not there yet. That's honestly the reason why we're starting with a high grade. We don't goof anything up on a master grade or something. Perfect grade. Well, we start getting all these techniques to come back to us. Hopefully it's like riding a tricycle. Oh no! I blew all my pieces off. Alright, they're back. They're back. Crisis averted, nothing lost. Just a little bit of time. Which is the end of the world. There we go. You can hardly tell I messed up over there. Actually, you can tell a lot. Oof. Well, that's okay. This one's for me, not for anybody else. She won't be going on to win any competitions. Just collect dust in a display cabinet. Okay. Trim up the 3 nubs. That's one. And the second. If I were to cut myself anyway, it would probably be this piece. It's just kind of small and finicky. Alright, there's our 3 pieces. We've got this. This. And then this. Oh. Maybe we should have put the handle on first. Get it to sit right. Okay. For the back, we're looking for C11. Come off of our metallic gray sprue. It's not particularly shiny. This is a pretty dull metallic sprue. I still like it. It's a nice color. Still a nice color. Yeah. There we go. I'm not going to worry too much about cleaning this up because a lot of these edges I think are going to be pressed into this. Yeah. Just like so. Although the top is not fitting quite there. There we go. Beam saber extraction. This slides onto this. Nice. Okay. Our last pieces that we're looking for here are going to be A28 and E8. which is pretty cool. Let's see. What color is 28? I hope if I held it right. Gonna be one of these yellow ones. Just like that. Okay, that. Gonna dice this up. And give it a little bit of the trim. Oop, might take off a little bit too much. Raids, Gunpla, and Tickles. Here to spread Gunpla and Tickles, but you're all out of Gunpla. Well, I've only got one. And what if I said I wasn't sharing? But hey, thanks for the raid. Really appreciate it. This is our second stream. We're just testing some things. Tickles it is. How's the build? Rough. It's been a long time since I've done any building. But that's why we're practicing. What about you? What have you been doing for the whole night? For me, it's pretty much been this RX-93 V Gundam. I started it last week with my first test stream. That one actually went pretty well. And I think I'm going to have to bring back some of those elements. Working on some 30mm mashups. I don't think I'm familiar with that. How would you explain it to someone who's not familiar? There we go. A nice little accent piece. Yeah, I'm looking for E8 now. 30-minute missions. I still don't think I know what that is. I'm so out of the loop here. Supposed to be super fast, complete within 30 minutes. So they're like 30-minute builds? Is that what we're talking about? I would probably die. Blood loss. Try to get everything down in 30 minutes, and then I wouldn't have fingers anymore. Bandai brand of model kits known for being builds kind of between EG and HG levels. Cool at first, but they've gotten a bit more complex. Complex, just like the they've added more details kind of to it, or just more parts. I don't know. I'd have to look into this. It sounds kind of interesting. Yes to both. So are they like Gundam kits? Or do they come in other genres, other ranges? Let's actually file some of this not Gundam Exomech style. Okay. You know what? When you say it like that, it actually kind of maybe rings a bell. I may have seen them before, and I just never filed them away as important. Whole lore system with 3 factions, and all 3 factions have different styles. What kind of styles? Like, oh man, that's pretty gross. It's a good thing we're practicing. But what kind of style is like, is like one like kind of bulkier, more armored, and the other faction's like a sleek Ferrari kind of looking thing? How'd you describe them? Oh, where are we? We're over here. We're on the edge of the page. We're combining things. Oh, wait. We've still got a hand to make. Gonna find this C piece. C6. That's a 9. That's a 2. There we go. There's a 6. Because it sounds a lot like this 30-minute mission thing sounds a lot like a miniature game that I've been waiting. I don't know why I clipped that. That I've been waiting to get into. It's called Obsidian Protocol, and it's got a lot of cool mechs. I've got a box right here for it, actually. But it's for Obsidian Protocol, and again, they're a 3-faction mech wargaming game. I haven't built them yet. This will definitely show up on one of the streams, but I'm not confident in my skills right now. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've done anything. Um, but once I feel like we're comfortable, we're going to bust open these bad boys. Earth Alliance, most mobile suit adjacent, except for the big dragon mech that can be ridden by smaller mechs. Byron forces, very militaristic design, and Maxon forces are your sleek and slender frames. Knights, ninjas, assassins. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna definitely have to Google it. Put a little bit of research into this. Like I said, when you said it was kind of exomech, it kind of rang a bell to me, but it might just be because I was thinking about Obsidian Protocol there. Because they've got a similar thing there. They've got 3 factions. One's that kind of militaristic there. Um, the other one's a kind of sleek alien technology thing, and the other one's kind of a mix between the two, which is cool. I'm looking for C5 and D1. Hey, I did something right absent-mindedly. Maybe my subconscious was helping me. There we go. There's 5. And then I need to figure out what D sprue I didn't use. Gonna be this one. We need to clip out a D1. There we are. Get all of our pieces. Now we can continue. Now, are these 30-minute mission mechs, are they a game, or are they just models that you collect and build? display. Because it kind of sounds like their game, 30-minute mission, right? Play game in 30 minutes. Just models. Feel like Bandai just dropped the ball on marketing when they came out, and this kind of turned into model kits. So maybe you feel like there was, perhaps, they were intended for something more? It'd be interesting to hear the original pitch. Been there in the boardroom when the executives were contemplating 30-minute mission. Animated shorts and everything. Damn. And a storyline. The plot thickens. We're beginning to unearth more and more information. And soon we shall uncover the true depths of 30-minute missions. But that's cool. That's another range I'll have to look into. The only other range I'm familiar with is like the frame arm stuff, because I do a lot of Girl Plus stuff. It's supposed to be a series for it, but it never materialized, which sucks. Yep. I've been sold one too many dreams to know that feeling. I know it all too well. Get hopeful, have some dreams about how cool something will be, and then it just gets crushed. Oh, whoops. Oh, so maybe COVID did it in then, if they pushed it from 2019 to 2020. But I don't know. I feel like COVID accelerated a lot of these kinds of hobbies. All right. We're going to work on some beefy shoulders next. Tons of model kits, but no promo. Well, obviously no promo, because I haven't heard of it. But that's actually not saying anything. I live under a rock. Okay. A29, D5, and A30. Just finished the Mad Wolf kit before this. How was that kit? Did you enjoy that build? I'm definitely looking for a few more kits. Like I said, getting back into it. So starting with some easy, but our next build after we finish the V Gundam is going to be Azra. So this is what's coming next. Oh man, we got the ring light in the way. There we go. Is that better? So long as I don't cover the box. I'm covering the box. What a goof. So that's what's going to be next. She's berserk, but anime girl. Gotta say, you saying it doesn't bring the kit to mind, but I'm sure I've seen it somewhere, and I just need to see a picture to be like, yes. Let's see, A29. I think we're gonna be yellow again. Oh yeah, right here, one of the smallest pieces imaginable. Oh, wedged in there. Oh, we're free. We're free. Okay, that's 29 and 30. Another small piece, but at least we know where it is. There we go. Our other piece that we're looking for is D5. Playing Battleship over here. Is that a hit or a miss? And D5. Oh, we'll take this one at a time, clean it up. Pretty good there. This part's pretty easy to clean. Lots of flat lines. Or flat surfaces, straight lines. It's nice. Use my weak eyeballs to determine where I cut. And I really like this glass file. Back when I was building, I did not have a glass file. It was the worst. I've still got me old sanding sponges, which are actually, they still have their place. But this glass file is revolutionary. I will never stop singing its praises. Okay. How to cut a small piece without busting my fingers open. Practice a little bit of knife safety here. Adopt a weird camera angle and begin your cutting process. And same thing on the other side. Just gotta get into focus. Oh, this one's not coming so easy. Oh, we took off too much. C'est la vie. Luckily, it's an inside edge, so it won't be visible. It's inside this shoulder piece. So all my mistakes are forgiven because of that simple fact. Oh, man. Oh, we done messed up. All right, back to normal. You guys didn't see anything. Not a single thing. Okay, where do these pieces all go? This one's right here, I believe. Oh, well, maybe if I clean it up, then it could fit. Got just a little bit keeping it out. There we go. That probably did it. If not, nothing a little elbow grease can't fix. At least I hope it'll fix. Hey, rotate this. Oh, I goofed up. I goofed up. That is not where they go. This one goes here. How hard can it be? Put the square in the square hole. But evidently it's hard. Oh, same thing again here. I'm getting ahead of myself, just trying to put things in like a goddamn caveman. But there we go. Everything has a place. To finish this off, we got to repeat it. Oh, man. That'll be fun. Okay, here's the D we haven't used. Get that 5. There we go. Rip that out. And we'll get our accent pieces again. Almost lost it, but we're good. We're good. Okay. Everything's set aside. Ready for the next. Ooh, excuse me. Mark this right out. So what do you think your next build will be? If you've already done the Mad Wolf, what do you think your next kit's going to be? Sword of Rage. Third-party kit after this. Once again, my ignorance shows. I have to start Googling some of these. Here we go. Hit it with a Google. Sword of Rage. Flamo. I don't think we've ended up in the right place. There's a pinball machine. Wait a minute. Seeing some model kits now. Oh, I'm not that. They all have really cool swords. Ooh, wait, I think I see it maybe. Is it by Cold Steel Dynamics? I think I see it. This is pretty cool. See if I can't post a link in my own chat and you tell me if this is right. Okay. Ooh, very nice. Yeah, that looks cool. And you're right, kind of big, bulky, transformer-ish looking type thing. The arms transform into like smaller bots, or are those just like parts and pieces, weapons? It's a cool kit. It looks like the weapons go on the arms. Yeah. All right. This time, with a little bit of finesse, and now that we know what we're doing, we can hopefully put it in the right spot. Not like the caveman we were before. We have graduated. Yep, we graduated. First time. First try. First try. All right. We have completed the step twice now. Means we now have to do it all again here with D6 and F6. Grab the Fs because they're close at hand. And find it right here in the middle. Ooh, tiny hands. Rotate. And nip. Grab the second bit. How long do you think that kit will take you? Just rough estimate. Like, want to build it as quickly as possible because you enjoy the finished results, or do you really enjoy the building process? Let's see. I'm looking for D6. All sixes. Well, of course it is. The other side of the shoulder. For me, it's definitely a process. Doesn't really matter how long this takes. When it's done, it's done. I don't know. I want to get into a groove. You get into a zone. And you just build something. It's just nice. Don't know. First metal frame. It's a metal frame? Like the frame is made out of metal? Like this is out of metal? That's crazy. 6 hours into a 30-minute build. Probably take forever. I get that feeling. I get that feeling. They're not even that good, but this is already taking me 2 hours. Well, at this point, like 3 hours to get just this far. I feel like some people can knock out a high grade way faster than this. But where's the fun in that? Right there. Got a little inconsistency right there. Seems like there's a little bit of curvature to this piece, and I don't know if that's supposed to be there or not. I think so, right? The other side's probably got it too, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's intentional. I didn't just gorilla grip it and warp it or something. That would be a tragedy. Back when I was first starting these models, I definitely used way too much force in a lot of the builds. And I'm still probably a little ham-fisted, but we have gotten better. But at least I did try to use clippers. One of my first viewers said they used a kitchen knife to cut out their gunpla, and that just made me scared for their life. Okay, we gotta mate these together. Got one of these. One of these. And that's this. Okay. Not as complicated as the accent pieces. So easy a sea slug can do it. There we go. That looks like a shoulder. Replicate this on the opposite side. Oh, maybe. There we go. Don't get no better. Okay. How do we go about attaching this to the body? Oh, never mind. I still somehow managed to goof it up, but that is okay. Because we have fixed it. We just had to pull this panel out a little bit. It was a little too far in there. Sit through like this. I believe so. You grab the torso. This stuck on like so. And then the arms follow. So maybe this has to be a one and done procedure. An all-in-one procedure. Or am I missing a piece? Let me double check to see I'm not missing a piece before we try and finagle this thing. I don't think I'm missing a piece. Okay, that's an arm. Now, same with the other side. Let's just rotate that. There we go. Now we're ready. Let me tell you, if you ever felt bad about your gunpla building, all you have to do is watch me. You'll feel way better. Still a really cool beam saber spot right there. That's nice. Oh, on his head. Oh, maybe. Maybe. Definitely the right spot for a head. The instructions agree. Just, there we go. There's the click. He's on. Or is it a he? I don't know. Regardless. Look at that. We've got a torso. A torso, 2 weapons, and a shield. That's pretty dang good. Our next steps is to give him mobility. Life. Right? We're not missing anything else. I don't think we are. To double check my instructions. I just charge headlong into this thing, we're sure to get lost. Sure to get lost. All right, we are looking for F pieces 20 and 21. Right here in the corner, that was an easy find. What was not an easy find, though, was at work today. I deliver the mail. Mailman. But what was not an easy find was my own courage. I was at this apartment complex, and I opened up a bunch of their mailboxes just so I could start sorting the mail into them. And then, if you had been there, you would have wondered why the lady delivering the mail had screamed, but it was just me, and it's because this huge-ass cockroach had crawled out of one of the boxes. And it scared the crap out of me. I'm glad no one was around. But I mean, the thing was huge, okay? Like, it was huge. And it brought up some childhood trauma of a very similar incident. Back, back when I was younger, probably like 5 or 6. Uh, had a kind of rural house, mailbox at the end of a kind of long, curving driveway. You know, maybe a quarter-mile driveway. It was a long driveway. So we'd always check the mail whenever we drove by, because you couldn't really like walk out to check the mail. Otherwise, you'd be taking a day trip. But that box always had a roach in it too. And so my mom would always pick up the mail and then shake it out to make sure no creepy crawlies were coming in with her mail. Until one day she did that. She picked up the mail. She had picked it up, shook it out, brought it in the car. But as soon as she did, a roach popped up out of the mail, and she screamed and freaked out, and she flicked the mail across the car, and the roach landed on me, and I freaked out. I still don't know what happened to that roach because it skittered away, but whew, that was an event. So, just a parallel here in my adult life. I hate those bugs. The bugs themselves are still kind of cool. I've always wanted to talk to somebody who probably did like those beetle wrestling matches, the beetle sumo kind of stuff. Um, just because I could never quite grasp the appeal. Live in the South by a cornfield, they're everywhere. I believe it. I believe it. As much as I like the rural life, I can't be too rural because then the bugs would share their lives with me, and I don't want that. think the closest was probably when I lived up north in Pennsylvania. That was probably the most rural of a house I ever had. We weren't farmers or anything, but it was right in the middle of some farm fields. The farmer that used those fields would grow like soybeans, corn, and he grew something else. I don't really remember. In fact, the only reason it sticks out to me is because one time had come home from school and he was out harvesting his soybeans in the field, and he invited me and my younger brother along to ride with him in the combine, and that was just the coolest thing when you're like, I think it was like 7 or 8 at the time, right? It was a big tractor, and we got to do something cool. Uh, but thinking back on it now, that house had a crap ton of daddy long legs and roaches. And I'm sure that that's why there was a crap ton of long legs in there, or cellar spiders, because the food supply was plentiful. That house had an old dry storage, and I swear it was haunted. You could not pay me any amount of money to go down there. Supposedly, my older siblings did go down there, and they tell me it isn't. But somebody has to have died in that house. It was all set up for an elderly person, so there's like stair lifts, which we never got to ride because apparently they would break. So sadness. But I'm willing to bet that they probably died in that house and then haunted it. Not that they haunted me, but that dry storage for sure. There's a lot of outbuildings out there too, and those definitely had to be haunted. I'm sure everyone who lives on a farm can tell me what everything there was for. But to me, it was all foreign and it did not make any sense. Thus, it was scary. Lived in the woods so long, the only things that will cause you to jump are mice, rats, German roaches, and termites, all of which cause massive infestations. German roaches. The Germans are the worst when it comes to roaches. I don't know. I've never been bothered to classify a roach. A roach is a roach to me. All roaches are equal. They're all disgusting. But I think you're right. Uh, Mice, I don't really jump, but if I see one, I know things are about to get out of hand, so better find the rest. I don't think I've ever ran into a rat in the wild, to be totally transparent. I don't remember ever seeing one. But I think I would jump if I were to see one. And then termites, I hate those. I agree with you on termites. Yeesh. We were getting rid of some old furniture, an old dresser, and we had um, left it out in the yard because we were gonna uh, break it down, smash it with an axe, a hammer, whatever. Have a little bit of fun with it. But something came up and we got distracted, and so then it just started to sit there. And then termites got to it. And so when eventually it was time to actually throw it away, they got real mad when we started smashing it. Had one recently. Dog was playing with it in the yard. My dog finds all of the field mice, but never found a rat. Is your dog one of those rat hunting breeds, or is it like big dog? Need 4 and 2. She's a potato. But potatoes are cute. They make good food. You pull a Genshin Impact. Keep her as emergency food. Outside and just like, I'm gonna play with it. I mean, if it's outside, you may as well. I'd be fine with my dog playing with her rat as long as it was outside. But maybe that's because I don't know enough. But my dog seems to more hunt bugs than anything else. The only thing she doesn't hunt anymore is wasps, and that's because they stung her. Everything else, though, she likes to hunt. She's very good at getting the flies. So, we just let her be. She can fulfill all of her natural predatory instincts on those bugs. The spicy sky raisins, yes. She now knows the black and yellow winged horrors are not things to be hunted. But the regular sky raisins, those are good. They're her. But if you're asking me, that's just gross. I could never survive as a dog. There we go. The base of 2 feet. That only took forever. A simpler way of life. That's true, I guess. That's true. But I don't know that I like what being simple will cost me. But I finally understood my dog's pain. I have never been stung by a bee or a wasp in all my years of living until about 2 weeks ago when I opened another mailbox and I hadn't even registered anything before the wasp had flown out of there and stung my wrist. Like it was just like instantaneous. As soon as I grabbed the box and opened it, the wasp was already just right there, homed in on my wrist and stung me. And man, those things kind of hurt. Feel absolutely terrible whenever I get field mice in the house. They're so cute, but so I yeah, they are pretty cute. When I was I had a thought, and now I'm not thinking anymore, which is classic. Wait, I remembered my thought, which is back when I was out in the desert, doing NTC for the army. They have these kangaroo mice, and those things are cute as sin. But if you touch them, it's like a $10,000 fine because they're an endangered species. But apparently they're also pretty destructive. I only ever saw one, so I'm not sure how destructive they can be, but there's all these horror stories about them like chewing through soldiers' tents and stuff and just wreaking havoc. But the one I saw was cute, so to each their own, I guess. These terrible tatters. Do you remember one time, again, back in that Pennsylvania house, some mice did get in. And of course, they inevitably found their way into some linen that was being stored, and they chewed up everything, tore it all to bits. That was all gone. My mom was definitely mad because I think there was some of the baby blankets she had made in there. She was not happy. But not a whole lot she could do because she wasn't one to grab a mouse and put it outside or kill it or whatever. So she enlisted the help of my father. All right, gents, we're going to finish up these feet and then we're probably going to go. I just don't have that streaming stamina yet. I'm weak. But if you want to catch the next stream, we'll be streaming Thursday, same time, 9 to 11. But of course, you'll probably be working on your own builds, I assume. Probably tune into you a little bit beforehand then, just see how it's going. Oh man, how does this work? Oh, there's also a sticker application. Well, maybe we won't be finishing the feet. We'll just be doing a little bit at a time. There we go. All right. We're probably, that's half, maybe 5% of the way done with the legs. So we're a good 55% of the way done here. Hopefully we can finish that last 45% on Thursday. Okay. Let's see. What we're doing here. Okay, yep. So the plan is next Thursday from 9 to 11. Shouldn't be any conflict there. So if you guys ever want to tune in again, feel free. We'll keep working on our V Gundam until she's done. Until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time, sluggers.